like we are.
All right.
Yeah. So, hi everybody. Me and Dan were chatting. Okay, well, what's this one's about? We want to talk about. We want to talk about video. I'll put it in the description. It's about Sasquatch and everything that comes with it. And this guy, he went through a hell of an experience. But as I'm watching it, I'm seeing similar things that happen to me, and we're gonna conquer. I want to talk about it. I really got to talk about it because I had some experiences in the Sasquatch field, but I don't talk about them because all the Sasquatch people will freak out on me because just because you'll see why. Now, Sasquatch people, the researchers, all about the physical perception of Sasquatch, right? But they don't talk about other things that don't add up in the physical. So they're into footprints, following tree breaks, following the footprints, sounds, recording, stuff like that. I'm into that too. Man, I love that. That's what I want to do. But unfortunately, we're all have souls, and there's a spirit world full of fucking entities. And when you hook up to a Sasquatch spiritually, that's what we're going to talk about, and the differences, and what the guy in the video experienced, where I went and put myself in his position to see what I came up with from my own experiences. So with that, let's talk about. Watch the video, and then you can watch this, and you'll see.
Oh, it's a fantastic video.
It's a good
You guys
video.
will love it. That poor fellow, he had a hell of an experience, and he was quite distraught. And you'll see through the video that he's quite distraught. He's like almost to tears at some points, and you don't understand it because it's a different aspect of a Bigfoot encounter. When I've heard all kinds of encounters, watched all kinds of encounters, listened to Richard's encounters, all kinds of stuff. But when I watched this video, oh man, it was a different concept of Bigfoot altogether.
Yeah, it was a deal breaker for him, that's for sure.
Well, why don't you say about the spiritual side, like how, like, okay, if you're in the woods, like take it, if we're like, say I'm a 3-year-old, explain it to me that way, bud, about, say, put yourself in a chair sitting there.
I can tell you my Sasquatch experiences. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then, or should we talk about, well, I can't even remember half the video subjects. There's so many of them. But
well, he was talking about the hooded figures.
Okay, that's
now,
a different
that was the first
yeah,
affiliation I ever heard of between a Sasquatch and a hooded figure being right there at the same time.
Right.
Now, whether that's
hooded figures,
like you said, there's entities everywhere.
Yeah, there is entities. Okay. Here's the deal. Okay, I'm a spiritual guy, so with that comes a lot of spiritual shit. But now listen. I don't know how to get going in this, but I'm just gonna go. In the spirit world right now, I got a black entity without a face. It's just a black head and shoulders. It's nice. It's like with Christ, but it's black. And I see it out of the corner of my eye once in a while. Okay. This is what this entity does is he takes all the garbage energy off of me and gets rid of it out of me. Okay. And we all have these things. We all have these. They're personal garbage dumps. Okay. But mine is with Christ and it's nice. It don't use the garbage energy. The garbage energy is dealt with within Christ's way. Okay. But before I broke my own veil or my skins, my spirit skins, between the body and the skins between the spirit, I couldn't see shit. I could see the black entity around, and I could see other entities, but I never could talk to them. I couldn't constantly perceive them. Now I can. But what I'm trying to say is when this guy saw, when he's out there doing his Sasquatch research, if you watched all the past videos or some of them or whatever, he goes out to the Florida Everglades and he's doing his physical research as it started off with. Okay. So over time, him and his companions start having things move.
Yeah,
Like
relatively quickly too.
Yeah.
The experiences started immediately for them.
Yep.
He said
they see an object, a black entity, they thought was a Sasquatch. Now your brain is geared, your physical reality. You're not in the spiritual world or anything. You're not into spirits or other dimensions or anything. So you're looking for a Sasquatch, and it's elusive in itself, just like a bird, a hummingbird. Okay, even more so. Okay, this thing has evolved to where it can avoid you. It can read the sounds. It can read the wind. It can smell the wind. It can see. It knows where you are. Okay, when it lays down at night and you're going out in the woods camping tomorrow and you're gonna run across him, he's gonna know it before you even get in the car to go to the woods. He's gonna run into you. What I can do that. Why the fuck can't a Squatch do that? That lives in the woods. There's a difference. You go into the woods for what? Go into the woods for 1 month and live by yourself.
Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. You can feel it. When I'm in the woods with my friends, I used to take my friends out and I go, you want to see a bear? And they go, yeah. And I know there's a bear over there. You know, just got to walk for a little ways. And I know I can feel them. We go over there and walk, and I'm telling my friends, this is a bear. Keep an eyeball out, and we'll see baby bears. The mom will be over there, and we'll run like hell. And sure as shit, I know where the bear is. We've done it 100 times. So I can do that with people. I can do that. I can do that. Why can't a Sasquatch do that? Right? Of course he can. Of course he can. Now, how did I do that? My soul is receiving information from that person. That bear says, I'm here with my kids. I'm going to kill you. Instinctively, if you come across my kids and me and my bear sitting here in the woods, I'm going to kill you. Instinctively, your soul knows, Rich, don't go over there. Right? But I'm going to show my friends. So you don't go over there. If you go over there, there's a bear. Your soul is telling you. That's all there is to it. Your soul's telling you. So you're in the woods and your soul says, well, I got this creepy feeling. Don't go this way. Stop, turn around, go back. Well, what is that? That's as far as you go. I got this weird, and you hear it on Sasquatch videos all the time. I had this weird feeling and I got the fuck out of there.
Well, when we're being watched, most people know it, right? You get that feeling.
Now imagine
you're in a place that alludes to being watched.
Yep. Imagine a Sasquatch staring at you.
Yeah.
Imagine his focus. And it's a fucking master of the woods. Okay. Now, okay. But this guy, he was doing that. They're playing him out there. They're just playing around. I don't know what's going on. I don't really know. I never really had Sasquatch encounters, but I did. But it's different. But the thing is, they're being played with. The Sasquatches are nice playing. I don't think they're out. Most of them are just passive, want to live, and they do their thing. Okay, that's what I think. And what you got to do is you got to use your soul. You don't go in there armed to the teeth like fucking Rambo, okay? and hunt for them. They can feel you hunting for them. Period. I don't give a shit. Okay, that's the way it is. I can feel the police coming to my door a day in advance. A fucking Sasquatch can feel you coming to kill it with a gun.
Well, the correlation between that whole thing, brother, is that guy was an avid hunter. He hunted pigs. He hunted all that shit. So maybe the Sasquatch were giving him a a
Kicking your
taste of
ass.
what it's like to be the hunted one,
Yeah.
you know, because of
Curing his ignorance.
yeah, how devastating his story was.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, maybe that coalition right there comes together and that has something to do with it. Maybe they're like, they've seen him out with his rifle. Maybe they watched him shoot animals.
Yeah. And now, what was the
Maybe
black?
his ego was a little bit too misplaced when he did take the life of the animal. Instead of giving homage and thanking the animal, he gloated and boated and took it in a different direction. You know what I
Got
mean?
it.
He
Yep.
celebrated that death, and then Sasquatch was like, "Well, son of a bitch, let's give him a taste."
Okay, he's sitting around a fire. He sees the eyes shine, and he all of a sudden he's sitting in the chair. He sees the eyes shine, and something puts his hand on his shoulder and keeps him in the chair. Then does a
That's
mind,
scary.
then goes into his brain and
That's
fucking rewires it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, and before that happened, him and his friends were seeing a black entity with them.
The hooded,
Not
yeah,
not only in the woods but in the city. Okay, so to me, the black entity, my experience is, I see other people's black entities. I see my own black entity, the one that takes the garbage off me, but it's with Christ. It's working with Christ. But now, and I made videos about it. I don't know, I think it got removed from the last YouTube channel, but whatever. Why can't a Sasquatch have black entities taking their garbage without a Christ to clean them off?
right.
Okay, this thing calls itself a master. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
it said. I'm a master. I can do all this.
Yeah.
It's no big thing. I've done it. You take your soul hand and you move the cigarette across the table. I've done it. It ain't fucking particularly that hard. I moved a fucking satellite, okay, with my soul. Okay, watch the video. I done it. So people think, physical people think, well, that shit is coming from another dimension. They don't even know they have their own soul. So how are they supposed to define what they're fucking experiencing?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not aware of their spiritual abilities at
Yeah.
all.
They don't even know they have a fucking soul, these people,
Yeah.
these physical Sasquatch researchers. So they miss 90% of the picture. All they're doing is following footprints. Okay, you're following footprints and then it disappears. Logically, that tells you what? Two things happened. It's going by different means physically, from tree to tree to tree to tree, to break its trail. Just like when you are running from the police and and the tracking dogs are after you, okay, and you go through the water and they can't smell you no more, okay.
Right.
So the squatch will go into the woods, jump in the trees and do all this fancy shit, so you can't follow it anymore because his tracks they just stopped. It got to the log and it stopped. And I've seen it. There's videos out there you can watch. There's tons of them.
That's why people have claimed interdimensional.
Right. That's one.
Yeah.
The other is, it is dimensional. Okay. It literally is. They can leave this dimension. Where do they go? They either go to another dimension, which is there's a veil there.
Right.
Okay. Or they go to the spirit world. Now, Skinwalker, people film things. Okay. It appears and disappears. It manifests in this reality, does all this shit, smashes your windshield, throws rocks at you, scares the shit out of you, can kill you, cut you, eat you. Wolfman, dog man, same goddamn thing. All these things seem to materialize and go away depending on the person's experience. Now, there's a lot of experiences where this has happened. So it's either one or two things. The thing is either evading physically and you can't track it anymore, or it actually disappears. Now we can even go speculate further. How does it disappear? Does it ask for help and the aliens beam it up, right? And then they're there no more? Does it ask for help? They take it out. Okay, let's say you're living in another dimension and you're like, fuck, I want to go to Earth and do some hunting. Right? So they send you to Earth. They send you to Earth, however they do it. And you're a Sasquatch. So that you're on the Earth and you're hunting. And all of a sudden you're being chased by people with guns, following your footprints, and you got to get the fuck out of there because there's no way you can evade them. So what do? You hook up to the people that put you there and say, get me out of here. I'm being hunted. I'm going to get shot. And they pull you out. Maybe the Sasquatches are pets of the fucking extraterrestrials. We can speculate. I believe it's all true. All of that, everything I said there is true. Okay. So what is it? We don't really know. But from my own experiences, this is what I got. And I think the veil thing, some of them can break the veil from their world to this world. Now, I got a few experiences that relate to just this, but still I'm left in a ponder because I don't have all the evidence. And that's why I want to go out and I don't even want to, because I know it might be the last thing I do, but because you know me, I'm just
You'll go. You know
I'll
you
go.
will.
I don't know when to fucking stop.
Fucking walk across Manitoulin Island just for something to do, just to find a squatch. I walked 500 miles to see a spot.
So that's where I want to get into my experiences to relate to what those are. How does the Sasquatch disappear? How does the Sasquatch do this and that and the other thing? What's really
you're
going
conditioned on? You're conditioned with the other side already in the spirituality.
I am now.
So any kind of communication would be something you'd already known about. You'd know about. You'd be able to react on it immediately. Where that guy, where they jumped into his head, started telling him all that shit, and he was saying there's more than one, scaring the crap out of him and all that. He had never had any spiritual
experiences. Yeah,
exactly. With this, either with himself, I don't really know if he's spiritual or not, but you know what? But he didn't look like he explored his spirituality to me.
Right. Well, he is now. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Well,
he's in a perpetual state of fear at this point.
Yeah, he's still fucked up.
So he's
I was there. Yeah.
If you're in perpetual state of fear, you can't manage anything. You got to understand what's going on before. It's not the other way around now.
Right. Well,
take that away from you.
I had spiritual experiences with fucking ETs since I could walk. That was my first experience. So I've conditioned this over time for when the big thing happened where I broke my skins and I ended up in the fucking spirit world with the spirits, my family and St. Lucian and all that.
Right.
And I just progressed from there into it and learned more and more and more. I'm still experiencing it now. Really bad shit happens still. But I got Christ on my side. I got 20 Christs. I got 1,000 Christs. Anything comes and attacks me, they're going to be right on them. Like spiritual or physical, they're going to be taking care of their side and helping me on this side, the physical side. So anyway, either or, I would like to tell you my experiences, but they're not physical Sasquatch experiences at all.
Well, that's what makes this so good. If they're spiritual,
but they're all Sasquatch.
That fella has a basis, and you understand it.
Okay, knocks in the woods. Okay, knocks in the woods. Okay, yep. I'm going to tell you this. This was fucked. I was caught. This was before I lost my skins. Okay. I was still doing. I wasn't a Bigfoot researcher, but I watched all the Bigfoot stuff. And they talked about tree knocking, and I'm watching what's that show there with the guys, Moneymaker and all them.
Bear Grylls.
Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah. Okay.
So they do the tree knocking.
Right.
I'm out delivering groceries with my job out of Woodsley. Okay. So we drive to London to pick up food. But we leave really early in the morning so we can go hang out in the woodlot. It's a conservation area out by London, Ontario.
This is southwestern Ontario.
It's a woodlot beside Lake Erie. I forgot the name of it. It's called Broughton or something. You can look it up on a map. It's there. It's not even big. It's totally surrounded by cornfields and the lake. The lake is there
Yeah.
somewhere close to it. Anyway, I'm out there. It's spring. There's no leaves on the trees. No leaves on the trees. The birds are just migrating in. It's late March. Okay. I'm out there by myself. My friends left and walked to the trail. I went off the trail over by the orchard because that's where I wanted to go. And I saw a now there's no Sasquatches physically, no Sasquatches should exist in southern Ontario. There's nowhere for the fucking 10-foot, 8-foot creature to go. Right, Dan?
Well, there is. But
Not really.
Up that way a little, yeah.
Okay, I tell you,
Not down this way because we're surrounded by lakes and everything. But
my neighbor killed everything he saw. Everything. Now imagine back in the fucking 1900, early 1900s, late 1800s, down to the 1700s. As all these people moved into southern Ontario, they cleared the fucking trees, killed everything they saw.
Walked, crawled, or slithered. Yeah.
Yep. Killed it. And now we're surrounded by cornfields with trees, with a little bit of trees here and there. Okay.
We do produce a lot of crops in this area.
Coyotes and foxes are about the only thing we get. Kent County, Essex County, and Lambton County. Okay.
Yeah.
Rattlesnakes used to be everywhere. Eastern diamondback rattlesnakes.
Yeah, we don't even have them here now, hardly.
Yeah, we don't have them here. They're fucking gone out of Canada, like extirpated. Massasauga rattlers here, southern Ontario. They have them in Ojibwe and Windsor. Okay, they let some go. They're trying to repopulate it, but that's just a happy game they're playing. That's not going to happen. So when you think about that, how the fuck is a Sasquatch when a goddamn snake can't even survive? How is a Sasquatch supposed to survive?
Yeah,
in southern Ontario with a family or whatever.
It makes you wonder. It does.
Yeah.
Make you
Oh
wonder.
yeah. It's so
because of the barrenness. Well, there's lots of food for them. There's no extensive forest or woodlands for them.
Okay, let's talk about when my mom was a kid and your mom was a kid.
Yeah.
They go out to Rondeau Park, right?
Yeah.
Which is on Lake Erie, 20 miles away, 15 miles away. There were reports of a hairy man living in Rondeau Park and along the lake in that area. But there used to be more trees when she was a kid.
Well, yeah.
That was 70 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a lot more trees. Now it's all cornfields. The hairy man's gone. Okay.
I never even heard of that.
Oh, yeah. My mom remembers. Wow. That's where she saw her first UFO.
Our mothers are sisters, by the way, for people that got her confused. His mother and my mother are sisters.
Yeah. So.
My cousin. Wow, that's cool. But I never, I'm fucking 53 years old and I never ever heard of fucking hairy man, and I'm right here. I love that shit.
Well, what happens was my mom and Dan's mom used to go out to Rondeau Park and see Alice Cooper and fucking Bob Seger and all these other people playing at this pub or bar or dance hall, and that's where they used to go. Everybody in southern Ontario used to go there to see the show. Okay, so at the time and before that, there was reports of a hairy man. People were seeing this guy living in the woods. They never got a good look at him. He was covered in hair. Doesn't take much to figure out what that is. Fucking Sasquatch. Okay, but now it's gone, supposedly. There ain't too much you can live in.
No,
there's not.
He'd be spotted.
Right. Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
Because even though it's country, there's a lot of houses and a lot of production going on with those fields all the time. He would be spotted 10 times.
There's coyotes and foxes. And the only reason they're coming back slowly, the only reason they are is because most people don't want to shoot animals.
And they stopped using DDT and all that shit.
Plus
garbage poisons.
Gun laws and all this other stuff. but people still do shoot it. Hell, the mayor is in Chatham shooting the goddamn crows. Okay. From what I heard. Anyway.
Oh, that was quite some time ago.
Yeah. But they're shooting. My neighbor shot every goddamn thing that lived just because he thought he could. Okay. Then, it's a whole natural law thing. So if my neighbor goes out there and is doing this, back in the day, they're shooting everything. So back on to the question, ain't no fucking Sasquatch going to be living here, period. So he's going up north in the woods where it's just never ending trees. So what the hell happened to me? Here I am in a woodlot out by London, Ontario. I'm walking around. I'm chasing. I see a red-headed woodpecker. Okay. I ain't got no photo of no red-headed woodpecker, and they're really rare to see.
Oh, they're beautiful birds.
Yeah. And so I'm chasing this thing. As I go to take a picture, it flies away to the next bunch of trees. So I run over there and I'm trying to get a picture. And I did this for about 2 hours. The damn thing wouldn't even stop. Like, it stopped until I got close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I only had that 400 lens too. Like, I didn't have the 1000mm thing. I got the Nikon, whatever. But anyway, I got tired. I'm really tired, and I figure I don't even know where I am anymore. I know I'm near the apple orchard, so I got about a mile to walk to get back to the trail.
Right.
And I can work my way back to the highway and meet my friends along the way or something. Right. So I'm like, okay, that direction. Now the trees in this are about this big around. Okay. Maybe this big, maybe this big. There's no old growth where I am. I can see there's no leaves. There's no brush on the ground. There's just trees, and they ain't big. I'm walking. I stopped. I was lighting a cigarette or having a piss or something. I stopped. I was messing with the camera, looking, thought I saw a bird. I can't remember what happened to make me stop. But as I'm doing my thing, whatever it was, I heard a tree knock right in front of me, 1 meter away. Whap, whap. Oh, loud, crisp tree knock, just like you hit a drum, boom, a snare drum. It was just like that. And I'm like, and I'm thinking Sasquatch because I'm finding Bigfoot, right? I wasn't expecting of it. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't searching for it because my mind, I was chasing the bird. And what the fuck is that? What just happened? Totally messed me up. And I went like this, Dan. And I stopped. I'm like, oh my God. And I went. And I looked at every goddamn thing I could. There was nothing there. No woodpecker, no fucking a woodpecker. If you take a woodpecker in your hand and throw it at a tree, it would not make that sound. Okay. The only thing it would make it is a fucking whack with a baseball bat.
Well,
literally.
You know the difference between a woodpecker pecking on a fucking tree and a
and it was
19-foot creature fucking smashing a board off the tree.
I could feel the reverberations from the tree knock.
Wow.
It was right there, 1 meter away, if a meter. It was right beside me, for fuck's sakes. And I looked, and spiritually, now I don't know where I was spiritually. I'm on a different level than it was. So when I looked spiritually, I couldn't see shit. But it happened. There was nothing. When the first knock happened, I looked up. There was nothing. And when the second one happened, nothing moved.
Wow.
I didn't even see a fucking energy orb.
Wow.
Float by. I did nothing. So what is that?
Well,
what is that?
That's
okay. What does that? Nothing does that except a Sasquatch, reportedly. Okay. So the second thing that happened to me, and that that fucked me up for a long time. Still
Well,
screws me
that's
up.
their primary thing when people go in the woods. You see, even the shows on TV or YouTube or anything, they're always focused on the tree knocks, eh?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that seems to be very prevalent in
yeah.
the starting of any
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a Sasquatch.
To call them in, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then,
Or,
and if
well,
you
I don't know why the Sasquatch do it. Who knows?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
that wood knock could be a sound of them crossing over dimensional.
Yeah.
That's how we hear it. You know?
Well, the guy, he said last night on the video
Yeah.
that
He smelled something.
yeah, or
Like
when
piss
you
or
hear a
something.
tree knock or a tree break, that's them talking to you, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a symbolic way of talking, saying, this is our area, go the other way.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? So you can play that as much as you want, but you need experiences. And, you know,
Well, irregardless, they seem to be intelligent. Sasquatches seem to be intelligent.
oh, yeah.
And
Over the
not
top.
just fucking monkey,
Yeah.
eat a banana smart. They're
Eat a banana.
obviously super intelligent.
Right.
Right?
So, yeah. So, what I did was I knocked back. I found a stick on the ground and I walked up to the same exact tree that I saw it. I took a couple steps, walked up to the tree and hit it back as loud as I could. And I stood there and waited for a minute. Nothing happened. And I said, well, fuck, I gotta go, right? I can't hang around here and do this. So anyway, I started walking, and I'm a little paranoid now because I'm out in the woods and I'm by myself. And the tree knock happened. Usually I'm totally happy until that happened.
Well,
And there
you
was
couldn't
nothing
see
there.
That's what would freak you out, right?
Yeah. There was
You hear a
nothing there.
fucking wood knock 3 feet in front of you, and then there's nothing there. I'd be fucking hauling ass.
It
I'd
shouldn't
be
have happened.
walking north and looking south.
Exactly. And I had a camera, so I don't know.
Just be gone.
Mm.
I'd sooner spiritually hook up to a Bigfoot than I would fucking see him
Yeah.
in the woods.
So, okay, years later go by. Years later, I'm at the same place, Woodsley, working with my boss or whatever. And then I see one day it was like 95 degrees, hot, and it wasn't sunny. It was cloudy, low clouds, that type of. Looks like it might rain, it might not.
Holds the heat in
Wind.
for you.
There's no wind, and I've been working all day. I'm covered in sweat. All right. And I'm dusty and dirty, and it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I sat down at the back of the house in the lawn chair, and I turned on the radio. No, I was listening to MP3 of a Bigfoot radio show. You know it. You listen to it all the time. One of them, I don't know.
Coast to coast?
No, the other guy, Murga or whatever.
Todd Standish?
No, a different one.
Huh.
Anyway,
Mark-
I was listening
Mark?
to people's Sasquatch experiences on this radio show,
Right.
and I'm just listening to it. Right, I'm living there and I'm relaxing. I'm like almost asleep. I'm just laying there looking, and I'm thinking. And I actually thought about, and I'm kind of sad because I wanted to do a C5, but I couldn't because of the cloud cover.
Right.
It was really low clouds, totally almost
Like,
foggy.
you get no sightings in that.
Yeah. So I was kind of pissy about that. And then I'm listening to Bigfoot, and I just thought as I'm listening to it, relaxing, you know, I'm meditating more or less. As soon as you start daydreaming, that's meditation. That's
Right.
praying. Daydreaming is praying. So if you can get to that state, that's where you want to be. So if you didn't know that, like that's what Christ tells me. I ain't gonna argue with him. Sounds right to me.
Because when you daydream, you
That's
actually
praying.
see the things you're looking at. You see the things you're thinking about, right?
Yeah. Well,
You just don't know it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I didn't know this at the time. This is before my skin's broke and I met Christ and all that stuff.
Well, it is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it gets better. So I'm listening to the Sasquatch, and I'm thinking about Sasquatch, and I'm thinking about when I used to go up north, and I'm thinking about other things that happened about Sasquatch and all this stuff. And I was basically, at the time, I didn't know it at the time, but I was aligning myself to the Sasquatch. So in that vibe, that, and I'm low. Now I know, now I look back, I was low, spiritually low on the earth. Okay.
Right.
So I'm sitting in the chair relaxing, listening to the show, and all of a sudden, Dan, I hear a roar come from the bridge area by the road. There's a bridge. There's a creek, and the creek goes under the road, Highway 46 in Woodsley. And
Yeah.
this fucking roar came out. It sounded like a T-Rex.
Holy Christ.
Okay. My fucking heart jumped, and I saw it, Dan. The house, everything disappeared. The house was gone, everything. I looked
Wow.
like that, and I looked over to my right. The house was here and it ended. I could see where the yell was coming from. I could feel the vibrations in my blood, in my guts.
Wow.
My whole body was okay.
Wow.
And I heard it, Dan, and I saw ripples. You know how you see the circles?
Yeah.
From
Like
the
you throw
noise?
something in the water.
I
goes
saw
through.
them. I saw them coming from the bridge, from a
Wow.
point going right across the lawn, right across in front of me, right through me, and going to the school, which
Wow.
was 100 meters away. I fucking shit. All right. So I got up from that after a couple minutes after I got calmed down. I'm totally awake now. Now, remember, I was in a meditative mode when I heard that,
Mhm.
listening to Sasquatch. My soul is aligning to Sasquatch. And I
Right.
heard that, God, I was thinking, I wish there were Sasquatches here in Southern Ontario. At one point, I did think that before it happened.
Mhm.
And then I heard the roar. About 2 minutes later, after I got it together, I decided to go take a look. So I had to walk through these tall weeds. They're really tall. And this roar was louder than anything.
Wow.
Any truck, transport truck, anything.
Well, there's nothing out there that's going to roar like that. Absolutely
No,
nothing.
it was a roar.
Not in Woodsley.
It sounded like a T-Rex, Dan.
Wow. That's impressive.
Fuck me, Dan. I can't even explain it to you. I walked over there. I walked down the road. I didn't go through the weeds. I walked down into the weeds, went under the bridge where it came from, and I walked along the creek. Now the creek, I took pictures of birds there almost every day along this creek, and the creek is surrounded by trees.
Right.
Not deep. It's the whole Woodsley is
Well,
a
it's an
flood.
irrigation creek.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a floodplain. It's
Yeah,
natural. It's a
irrigation.
natural creek,
Right.
but it's a floodplain. I looked under the bridge. You know, you got your beer bottles and cigarette butts and drinking hole. All the kids go there and drink. This is where it came from. And I
Wow.
looked, there's no footprints. So I walked that way along the creek a little bit, farther away from the property. There was no footprints. There was nothing. I walked all along the creek, looking in the mud for anything. Nothing. There was nothing in the weeds.
Right.
Deers give birth in the weeds, and I can see the baby deer come out.
Right.
And I know, I can see that. I can see a fucking Sasquatch sitting in the weeds. Okay.
Right.
So, and I'm always looking. I know every damn bird in the property. I know when a sound of a weasel. I know the sound of this was louder than a transport truck.
Wow.
What's that when they do their braking engine?
Oh, Jake breaking.
You know how you hear engine braking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was louder. And it was a
Wow.
fucking animal. And I spiritually I saw the ripples going through
Wow.
the atmosphere. If you want to, that was a spiritual thing. Like the sound ripples.
Well, that was them telling you, screw you, we're closer than you think, because you hooked up to them spiritually.
But I was in the spirit world, but my
Wow.
brain didn't know it.
Wow.
And guess what? In the spirit world, the Sasquatches exist.
Well, of course they do.
At some level in the lower astral of the earth plane.
Look at the native Indians.
Sasquatches exist. Now, Dan, are they dead Sasquatches? Or are they proper physical Sasquatches that went into the lower astral?
Well, if they got a soul, then they're going to go there, right? Or if they got any kind of an energy based, like we don't know what they're all about. We don't know nothing about them spiritually. I don't anyway. I mean,
Okay,
I wish
you
I
ever?
did.
I called Christ when I was being attacked by Crazy Man in the astral plane.
Right.
Okay, in the third tier, I called Christ. He came help me. He got in a fight with Crazy Man. Now, I don't know what two gods sound like fighting, but this is pretty fucking close.
Wow.
All right, Dan. This made the fucking shit just run down your leg.
Wow.
It's that fucking scary. When you hear Christ go off on some
Right.
prick,
Right.
man, that is some scary shit.
Wow.
That is scary. Okay. This was
Well,
10
he's
times
taking care
worse.
of business.
Yeah. Now that's Christ. That's Jesus Christ. What the fuck did I just hear?
No
Now,
doubt.
did my spirit align with the Sasquatches? The Sasquatch in the spirit world, somewhere out there, felt me aligning to him, came, found a good place to hang out and observe me from the spirit world, and decided to give me an answer. Okay?
That's awesome.
It's that fucking simple.
Mhm.
It's that simple. When you think of your mother and she's in St. Lucia, you think of your mom, you feel her, right?
Right.
Now, if you're more fine-tuned, and you instinctively know, I don't give a fuck who you are. You know she's watching you. You know she's watching you.
Yeah.
And you know how she smacks you in the fucking head when you fuck up. So when you fuck up and all of a sudden you get that smack in the back of the head, yeah, Mom, I get it. All right, I got it. All right, thank you for thanks for the kick in the ass. That's, that type of shit. The same thing happens. The exact same thing. It's just now, to me, for my own peace of mind, and I keep it that way because why not? Why the fuck not? I hooked up spiritually. My soul hooked up to a dead Sasquatch. It came over to find out who the fuck is hooking up to me, wherever it came from. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
And decided to give me an answer.
Yeah.
Now, there was no one around to hear the roar. That's pissed me off. I wish there was someone else to hear it.
Well, it's a hell of a personal experience.
Yeah.
And why, and
same with the wood.
If anybody could hook up to a Sasquatch, it would be you.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it.
No, I already know because Como Lake. I'm out there. I'm hearing the loons on the lake in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
With my uncle, as we were driving up there, Uncle Murr, he saw.
Yeah, he almost ran it over, didn't he?
Yeah, almost ran over it. I was totally fascinated. Okay, we're driving down the road, straight line for fucking 5 hours through the woods,
deeper into the woods
for 5 hours. Okay, we went through a forest fire and everything. I'm losing my mind. I'm in the back, half asleep. My uncle's in front of me driving. All of a sudden, his car went off the side of the road, big pile of dust. Everybody comes out on the road. My uncle runs across the road into the forest. So I'm thinking, he's gotta use the facilities. So that's what I'm thinking. We got a car. My dad's going, well, Christ, if you just got pissed, just pull over, right?
Doesn't have to go sideways to pull over. Eh?
We're asking his wife, what the hell is this about? She's like, I don't know. So he comes walking out of the woods. And I've told this story before. He comes walking out of the woods and he's standing there. He goes, I almost killed me a Sasquatch. He goes, and we're like, oh, fuck off. I'm just a little kid. I'm like, 9 years old or something. And anyway, he goes, my mom said it was a bear, and he goes, well, it was no bear. I killed 100 bears, and none of them look like that. And it goes, the damn thing ran right out in front of my car. I almost killed it. And I headed right in the bush, and I went chasing after it. I pulled over and went chasing after to see if I could see it. And that was it. And he was gone, and he didn't see anything. So
I guess I bet he didn't.
And he says it wasn't a big one. It was about as high as the car, like a kid, like a
right.
kid.
Well, there's
Sasquatch.
I would imagine there's all sorts of Sasquatch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So anyway, 2 days later, I'm listening to the loons, and I'm still thinking about the Sasquatch because here I am at a campground called Como Lake by Chapleau, Ontario, 200 miles away from fucking anything, in the middle of a nature reserve with my in a cabin with my couple cabins, and I hear this loon on a lake, which gave me tingles. And then the next thing I know, I'm standing in the woods. Okay, this is my first experience with a Sasquatch. 9 years old. I'm standing in the woods and I'm looking. I'm just standing there, all relaxed and mellow. I'm going, why am I in the middle of the woods? And I thought, I'm lost or something. Am I lost? I thought, am I lost? And I go, no, I'm supposed to be in my cabin sleeping. But why am I in the middle of the woods? And I'm looking at the ferns and I'm looking at the trees all the way to where they disappear in the blackness.
Wow.
I'm in the middle of the woods. I don't know, man. I'm just standing there. And I'm questioning it. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck am I standing in the middle of the woods? And I noticed there's a tree beside me, right here. And I'm standing beside the tree and I'm looking. And all of a sudden, I'm like, why am I here? And it's really peaceful. It's nice and quiet, peaceful. All of a sudden, the tree went and stepped out.
Wow.
In front of me. It wasn't a fucking tree. It was a leg of a Sasquatch.
Holy fuck.
And I looked at him. I had to look up. And I saw him. Shoulders, head, fucking shoulders,
wow.
Hair, layers of fucking hair coming down. And I immediately woke up in my bed, wide awake,
wow.
remembering all of it. So, but what happened there? I astral traveled. I astral travel just like that to other places, everywhere. Grandma's house, train tracks, train stations, girls, everything, Dan. So what did my soul do? It gave me, I was in the car questioning Sasquatch. I wonder if they really exist. My uncle just saw one, so it exists. And Leonard Nimoy says this, and everybody says that. And I was 9 years old, and I wanted fucking answers. Well, I got my answer. My soul took me to see a Sasquatch.
That's awesome.
And that's basically how it happened. Now, I've never seen one physically. Right. Unfortunately, never seen one physically. But these are my experiences of Sasquatch. Now, again, years later, about I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I'm at the uncle, the same uncle who saw the Squatch. I'm at his property, and me and my mom are visiting him for a couple of days, for like a week, and we're there at the cottage. And then I decided to go, and there's a road that takes you when you go around the lake. There's a road that goes off in about 2 miles into the woods. So what I do, I take my cameras, I walk down the road and I look for rattlesnakes and stuff. Then I'll get to the lake and then I'll sit there beside the lake and just let the fucking creatures come out nice and quiet. I just sit there, got my tripod in the water, and I'm waiting. Okay. So this is what I like to do. I just love that. And I'm waiting for the creatures to come out. And then I will, the next day, me and my uncle were walking the dog, and the conversation came up about Sasquatches, and I was thinking about Sasquatches days before I went there. And as I'm walking up the road, me and my uncle, and we're literally talking about Sasquatches, and we're walking by a meadow. There's a natural meadow. It's all, at the time it was early fall. So there's goldenrod, okay? Like a mile of goldenrod and bushes. So it's like a old wheat field, cornfield type thing. But it's all goldenrod now. So they cleared the trees out, but they left patches of trees. Anyway, this is in Bruce Peninsula. I'm walking down the road and we're talking about Bigfoot and whatever, laughing about it, having a good time. And as we get to this one spot, there's a goldenrod, then there's a bush of trees right over about 50 yards, 75 yards away. The trees. And as we're walking, we're both quiet walking. And I have my dog. We're gonna go to the lake. And all of a sudden I hear, we're walking. All of a sudden I hear click, 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 like that. A rock clacking where you take two rocks, clack them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stop and I go, did you hear that? And he goes, yeah. And I go, rock clacking. And he goes, yeah, what the fuck? He goes, this is Bigfoot. That's Bigfoot. We were just talking about it a while ago. He's like, holy shit. He's like, holy shit. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And so I stopped. I went into the bush. I went down the side of the road to where the goldenrod was, and I looked, and I know now what to look for, but I'm still not seeing it. There's nothing there. And I know they blend right in. And the bush line is totally black inside, okay, and covered with small pine trees and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'll never be able to see him. I already know I won't be able to see him. But I spiritually, I could feel something staring at me. And I heard the word, the rock clacking. So I went back, picked up a couple rocks, gave him a response. Then I went home. There's a fence, an old fence post that was broken on some wires. And so I went, hey, look, I took my change in my pocket, a bunch of quarters, and I sat them nice in there, and a couple other things, a couple stones I had, and I put them and I wanted to see if it would move them or not overnight. When I come back tomorrow, see what was there. So I put them right in front. I'm waving at the guy. I'm looking at the side where the noise came from. I say, hey, look, oh, good things. Come play with them. And I left it. Then we went, and then I left, and we went to the lake. We saw a couple loons, and then dog had a swim. Then we walked back, and that was it. So the next day I go back, nothing happened. Nothing. And then I went home. Nothing happened. And I'm thinking to myself, right? I'm thinking, well, that happened. I don't care. Just like the tree knock, I heard the rock clacking. But that's the only time at his property I've ever heard anything Sasquatch related. Now, what was different from all the other times was we were talking about Sasquatch. So when you talk about something, when you talk about other entities or other people, your soul aligns to them.
Yeah, you're aligning up to them.
So you either go to their level, align to them, just like the ETs do for CE5. They talk to your soul,
right?
And then they know. People don't know that, but that's what happens.
Well, direct.
It's the same thing with the Sasquatch. So you start having Sasquatch encounters, then you can take it on to the physical part, or it's the physical part you see first. But they always, every time it happened, for me, it was a physical noise from the spirit world into my world physically, so I could hear it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, to get your attention.
Yep. The tree knock.
Yeah.
Well,
then you
roar,
think of Sasquatch, and then you align, right?
Yeah, and I align. My spirit lines, and I'm a really spiritual person, so I get. And when I'm thinking about Sasquatch, I go to their vibrational level.
You'll line up, yeah.
I line up to that, and I hook up to spiritually hook up to the Sasquatch. He's like, wants to check me out or not, comes and checks me out. Now, I can't remember when the tree knocking happened. Click, 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 click. Or the tree knock happened, click, click, in front of me when I was looking for the.
When you're in Woodsley, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the woodpecker. No, that was up by London.
Oh, in London.
Yeah, and I was looking for the woodpecker and I stopped. I think I was taking a piss, and the tree knock happened. I was looking for a bird, but I'm always thinking Sasquatch, and it's rare for me to get in the woods, right?
Right.
So I think I was thinking about Sasquatches out there. I wasn't looking for anything because I was caught up with a bird.
Right.
But when you get in the woods and you watch Sasquatch videos, the first thing you think about is Sasquatches.
Hell, even at Grundy Lake, when I was there, I was thinking about Sasquatches. Even
Yeah.
it's always in the back of your mind when you're walking through the woods alone. I don't care what woods you're in, you think
Yep.
Sasquatch.
Now, okay, so let's go back to that guy's video. So when I watch a video, I put myself in the guy's position as he's describing the events that happen. I put myself in his position,
Right.
and I say to myself, can I relate to it in any aspect from my own experiences? And hell yeah, that guy was loaded with experiences. But now where he's confused is he had a whole bunch of spiritual experiences, but he has no spiritual experiences that he can relate
Right.
to it.
You can't relate to it.
Can't
yeah.
relate to it. So
It was out of the dark.
he's trying the best he can to give it meaning.
Well, they fucked that guy up.
He got the mind speak right, but they could have been playing him. Maybe they just wanted him to leave.
Well,
So
they
gave him the fear. But
Yeah.
when it got to
Well,
the veils, and when he got to the veil and he got to the door, open the door and let me in.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That is all universal.
Right.
The door
Well, you're not
represents.
You have to invite them in for them to have control on you. And once you do, you're at their mercy.
Now imagine this from my experiences. Okay.
Yeah.
Sasquatch people, let's just keep it simple. Sasquatch people, physical, living in the woods. Okay. They all have souls that are fine-tuned to natural law. Okay.
That's all there is for them.
Okay. So natural law. You're walking through the woods and you see a Sasquatch face to face.
Mm-hmm.
You keep your peace in your fucking heart, in your soul, and you turn around and walk away. If it makes an aggressive thing, it's all body and action reaction. You understand? So that's like natural law. Okay, hey, I don't want no problems. I'll just turn around, go this way. I was just out for a stroll. You have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
No problems. My gun is point. If you got a gun, you point the fucker down.
Yeah.
I'm not a threat. I didn't know. Sorry. All right. And he goes, and he gives you a little fucking spiritual jolts to make you fucking remember.
Right.
Okay. So there's that.
Uh-huh.
That is an experience of you seeing a Sasquatch in the woods. Now they have a family. Their souls are all at that level of natural law. People don't respect anything anymore.
No,
Kill them all and let God think about it. Have me a glass of whiskey. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it's come to. Okay. Not everybody, but
Yeah.
It's like that one guy, the hunter guy that tells all the Sasquatch stories. Yeah, well, I was out there culling the wolves for a sport, and I'm a guide, and I take people out in the middle of nowhere, and we cull the wolves, okay? And then we take them and mount them on our wall. It's a sport. I'm a man. I have my gun. I'm a man.
Ego-driven.
I'm the alpha male. Yeah, and he's bragging about himself, and I think he's a psyop myself, to tell you the truth.
Right.
At some level. But anyway, to me, I can't stand the guy because of that. All he does is brag about his fucking shooting and killing and hundreds of thousands of dollars he gets from taking politicians out in the woods to shoot a wolf. You're a real fucking hero.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think about. Now he's telling about his Sasquatch encounters and stuff like that. Okay, so there's people like that, and there's people like normal people. Okay, spiritual people. You don't even have to be spiritual. You just gotta be fucking follow the fucking rules, natural law. You just gotta be a human, for fuck's sakes. It's all it comes down to. To go out in the woods and have a good time. You run into a Sasquatch. It's all good. We're all good, brother. Well, leave him an apple. Fuck it, I don't know, and
That's
walk
how
away.
we always see
Yeah,
those
it's
videos.
all good.
People aren't armed. They're just out with their kids.
Yeah,
They're maybe out with a couple walking, or they're walking their dog, and then they have the Bigfoot experience. And it's only scary because it's Bigfoot. But
yeah.
there was no altercation. There's no aggressive behaviors.
You're
There's
not
none.
out, and you're not out seeking. You're not out seeking
Exactly.
spiritual.
It just happens. It's a thing, yeah, that happens.
It's just, wrong place, wrong time. But in this case, okay, in my cases in the spirit world with entities, there are entities that want to own your ass. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, this entity that attacked him, and I'm thinking it was an entity. It had to be an entity. Now,
Well, if they followed him to the city, yeah.
yeah, okay, but even that,
Bigfoot's not likely going to trape around the fucking downtown. He said he lived in a high-rise fucking condominium or something.
yep,
Bigfoot
you got it.
does not frequent condominiums, people.
That's right. Okay, now remember the black entity, the familiar we all have. The
Yeah.
familiars, they come and go. They're garbage collectors. Let's say that was a familiar from one of the family Sasquatches, or it was a dead Sasquatch.
Or it was his own goddamn familiar.
Right. His own familiar. Yes. Smartening him up. It could have been any one of these. But he saw the eye shine. He had a fire going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's all witchcraft. The fire is witchcraft. You can add that into the witchcraft, into the priests, into whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So the fire's going. He sees the eye shine. He puts the light in there. He looked it in the eyes. He looked that Sasquatch in the fucking eye, Dan.
Yeah.
They made eye contact. They soul to soul now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he's hooked up to that. He's hooked up to that guy. Now, either that Sasquatch that he saw or a dead Sasquatch that was living with that family, like a spirit guide for us,
Right.
like a Jesus Christ for us,
Yeah.
it has to protect that family. Now he looked at Sasquatch in the eyes. He goes spiritually to their level.
Mm-hmm.
And this entity, call it a Sasquatch, it could have been that own thing. Whatever he saw, the eye shine. And it came and it told him what he needed to know.
Yeah.
And it scared the fucking shit out of him. Okay. Now, when they do that, there's always a reason why they do that. Christ does it. Bad entities always do it. The politicians do it. It's always scared straight. Scared straight. You ain't gonna fucking fuck with them Sasquatch anymore. Okay. I know everybody plays you. Everybody, especially in the spirit world.
Yeah.
There are entities out there that have been there for thousands of years. They know more than fucking us physically. And he, just like that roar I heard, I was that far away from getting the exact same thing.
Wow.
Okay, now why didn't I get a nice Sasquatch response? No, I heard a T-Rex roar from the spirit world because I aligned to it. Okay, that was my fucking answer. Yep, you exist. Okay, I'm done. And I sat there and figured out what the fuck happened. Okay, I was meditating, relaxing, listening to Bigfoot, thinking about Bigfoot when I heard the roar.
Yeah.
Okay, so I knew I was lining up with it. I knew I called a spirit from the Sasquatch, the Sasquatch people. The spirit came, checked me out, and roared and gave me my fucking answer. Puckered up so goddamn fast you don't believe it. Okay, and I had a heart attack. Okay, so
everybody says their roar, they can feel it right in them.
Yeah, I felt it. My blood was.
I've seen tons of videos where people say their shit stands right up and they can feel it like guttural. Yep. It's so deep in their chest.
And that happened, man. What I told you today happened. So call me crazy, call me whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'll always tell that story exactly like it is. And in the next life and the next life, if I can remember it. So that's it. It's gospel for me and Jesus Christ. So it don't even fucking matter. Right. So that's the way it is. And so I relate my experiences to that, guys. So what happened is very similar. I got a roar. He got an entity that went in his head. Mm-hmm. I've had entities go into my head. One almost killed me. No, three almost killed me. Literally. Mm-hmm. literally. And this is what happens when
Well,
you.
you're in the unique position to let them know that you're available. You know, well, the rest of us aren't, cuz you traverse waters that the rest of us don't swim in,
Mm,
right? So
on a
whatever's
daily
in that
basis,
water,
I can
it's
hear him talking right now, Dan.
like they're at your mercy,
Yeah,
or
right here.
they're at their mercy.
Now, if I lay down, put my earplugs in, I can, go to them and talk to them.
Right.
If I can hear them, like, then I got to release the energy and there's more noise and static and everything. But eventually I'll be able to talk to them just like I'm talking to you.
Right.
And yeah, every day.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so
It's scary, but fascinating.
I have to watch out and when I go into the woods, I'm thinking about birds, flowers, and my camera. Okay. If I'm looking for a Sasquatch, 100% in my brain, and I'm walking through the woods looking for a sign,
Right.
my soul
Once you line up, you'll find
My
it.
soul is hooking up. That's what I got to know. And I'm totally open. Totally. I mean, I'm not totally open now. I got some skins, but they're fucking loose. Okay. Now things happened to me when I was totally physical. Imagine what it's like now. I'm way open. I can feel shit. Wow. But that's what I got to do when I go into woods. I gotta know this so I can avoid that. So when I'm searching for a Sasquatch, I got to know, okay, Sasquatch come around, throw a rock at my head, give me a tree knock or something. Don't fucking hurt me. All right. And they're not about that. And I'm cool. I'm like, hey, man, just, fucking, we're all good.
I never thought they were about that either. That would be a scary, scary situation to think that every Bigfoot was out there to fucking kill you and eat you.
Yeah, it can't.
That is a horrendous.
No,
thought.
it's all natural law.
Yeah.
I've heard more Bigfoot stories that follow natural law.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And who has the bad encounters? Hunters, ego people with fucking attitude. People, what the fuck? I got an AR-15. Ain't no fucking Sasquatch coming. I'll kill it. They go there with a gun. They're looking for sign.
War-based attitudes.
And they're hooking up spiritually to the Sasquatch.
Yeah, and they don't even know.
Yeah. And so you go in there with a fucking bullshit fucking human attitude and ignorance and all that added up, and you're just a sicko. Yeah. You're gonna get the Sasquatch are gonna defend themselves spiritually. What happened to that guy? I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He looks like a really cool guy. He's more Christian than fucking.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a good guy. That's a good. I subscribe to his channel, or their channel.
Yes, it seemed like a decent fella. He sure how distraught he was, but he did say he hunted and he did say he did all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean,
he said exactly. I'm there with my arrogance. I go out and hunt and kill a deer, and I go back and have a trophy. Well, what the fucking Sasquatch did? Turned it around.
He said they were, there. He said that himself. They were going to use him as the trophy.
Yeah, he just gave him what he already wanted to know. He gave him himself.
Yeah, he actually said all that stuff. So that's pretty cool.
He put him in natural law, right back where he's supposed to be. If you want to think about it, watch the video again. Now that you know what we just talked about, watch it, and you can see how it fits. That fucking thing took him, rearranged his brain, told him exactly what he needed to hear to put him back to a normal fucking person. Granted, it fucked them up. Maybe it was too much.
Itself is something that would fuck you up, right? You hear a voice inside your head that is not yours, would be enough to fucking drive you over the edge, let alone have anything else go along with it.
Yep. And what happened? What happened? Christ came and closed the door of the veil or something.
Yeah, he got help.
He called Father. He goes, Father, help me, which means Christ. Or his own soul, his own spirit said,
caused the fire to spark or something, right? That he got away or something.
Yeah, run. Close the door and run, or fuck something like that.
Yeah.
And so he fucking ran. So
in his cabin, and stayed the fuck in there too.
Stayed in there and drank himself. I would have done.
Me too. I would have been scared to fucking go out the cabin. I'd have been pissing in the mason jar for the next 4 years. Yeah. I don't know if I would have went out in the daylight or whatever, brother. I still would be scared.
That's scary shit. Yeah. It's scary, but you got to know, once you know what's going on, you can exactly. Well, I can go out in the woods and sleep. Okay, out in the middle of nowhere, deep in the woods, and sleep just fucking fine because I know there's nothing staring at me. There's nothing coming, and I'm loving the woods. So
Well,
if a Sasquatch is coming down on you, you're gonna know it. You're gonna feel it an hours in advance.
well, you and the Sasquatch got more in common because you're both, I would think, nature driven.
Mm.
It's natural law. You don't kill anything.
Yeah,
You,
I go out there and I enjoy
you're
it.
not there to kill. You're there to take pictures and enjoy
Yeah,
every aspect of what nature has to offer you.
and
then
even
go to great lengths to get to it.
yeah, even if I get attacked spiritually, I got Christ. I got a fucking 1,000 Christs that will come
Yeah.
and defend it. Okay, I had an experience with what happened in St. Lucian with the ETs.
Right.
I don't know if I made a video for it. The ETs came one day when I was in the illusion room with Christ making the zombie illusion room. Okay. If you don't know what that is, people don't know what that is. It's a deep fucking thing. You have to watch my videos to understand it. But anyway, I'm with Christ and we're doing something. All of a sudden I hear the sound in my head, my brain, of the ETs coming. Now the sound
Froze up, brother.
What?
You froze up.
Yeah, I know. You froze up too.
Did I?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, we can save it for another day, I guess. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's a good video for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can wrap it up if you want, brother. We can make
I
another.
don't know why that's happening. Yeah, we got to do another one in a day with John. So
Yeah, exactly. And the people, I hope they got, like, I think by now you've explained the situation between the spiritual and the physical. And now maybe that's going to, when people watch that video, and I hope you go watch it because it's awesome video, then you're going to be able to relate to what has been said and maybe pull the puzzle pieces together yourself.
Yeah. So, but the guy is describing his experiences, but he has no spiritual experiences.
Right.
That he can,
relate. Can't relate to it like
relate,
yeah. He was totally in the dark and he had to go through it alone like that. Yeah. He had no idea they were spiritual, right?
And now he's fucked up, but he's not. He's not. He needed it.
Well, he'll have a greater respect, right? Either he's gonna continue on with what he was doing, or he's gonna back away from it entirely.
Yeah, he seemed, well, you know what? You don't know the future either.
That's right.
What was if that didn't happen? What would have happened to him out there?
Exactly.
He could have got killed by a bunch of hogs.
Exactly.
Right? You know, you don't know. You don't know. It's not your life to throw judgment on it because there's 100 things. There's 100 probable realities that could have happened. If that event didn't happen, there's 100 realities that changed his life. He ain't going to the woods no more.
Right.
So that's a big change. Okay. Now, if that didn't happen, he was going to the woods. What could have happened? Exactly. The same thing that happened to Tim.
Yeah, that guy got killed, right?
Yeah, that guy got killed. He was a Sasquatch researcher in the same fucking forest, same area, same everything. He got killed. I don't know his story too much, other than he got killed. I don't know where it happened or how it happened or what.
Yeah, me neither. I remember that saying
the Santo or Bovicio or what, I don't know. But Fasano, Tim Fasano or something like that. Anyway, guys, we should cut it for a day, and I'll throw this up right now. And I go to the bathroom.
Anyway. Thanks for inviting me in for this talk. It's fascinating video. I'm going to go back and watch it again. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, that was a good video. Smarten you up. So, I got it when you hear people's experiences, don't disregard them. Add them to your own knowledge base, man. That's why we sit around a campfire and tell stories. You add the knowledge from your elders' stories to your own fucking, your own bin in your head, in your soul. And once you understand the stories, you can relate to it and you add on to your own program, make it bigger. Don't just fucking bitch and disregard like they do to me. Well, he's pretty fucking crazy. I'm gonna have myself a beer.
They just don't know the fucking real aspects because they're groomed. They're watching that shit on fucking YouTube and all these lying fuckers that have no idea what's going on. Because if they think reality and the other side is that uniformed, they're not. That's what I know.
And they want to
When
deal with
everything's
aliens.
uniformed and pretty and its blocks are all nice and
Yeah.
you're bullshit because it's not that way.
It could be just as beautiful.
I know that, and I'm a fucking idiot.
Where
So,
you are in your heart. Bring your heart to your head and walk the fucking natural
find
law
Jesus,
with
get
Christ.
peaceful.
Yep. That's all it is. Okay, Dan.
Be blessed, people. Thank
All
you,
right.
brother. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night, cuz.
Have a good night, man.